Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room and instantly feel the emotional temperature? Why do they always seem to know what to say, when to speak up, and when to simply listen? Emotional intelligence is one of the most underrated forms of intelligence we have. It shapes how we connect, how we love, how we succeed, and how deeply we understand ourselves. Yet most people have no idea if they actually possess it. Today I want to share 7 signs that you might have high emotional intelligence, even if you've never realized it. As you listen, ask yourself, is this me? Because if it is, you might be a lot more emotionally powerful than you think. Sign number 1. You're self-aware, sometimes painfully so. You understand your own emotional landscape, the peaks and valleys of what you feel. When anger shows up, you don't pretend it's not there. When sadness comes, you don't bury it under distractions. You observe your feelings like a scientist watching an experiment. You notice the subtle rise of tension in your chest, the shift in your breath, the thoughts that start spinning. You don't always control your emotions perfectly. Nobody does. But you understand where they come from. You know your triggers. You understand how your past influences your present. That awareness becomes your inner compass, making it easier to step back from impulsive reactions and choose a wiser response. Sign number 2. You're a really good listener. Not the kind of listening where you're just waiting for your turn to talk. You actually listen to understand. When someone opens up to you, they feel seen, not judged. You make people feel like their words matter because for you, they do. You pay attention not only to what they say, but how they say it. The tone, the pauses, the emotion behind the words. You hear what's not being spoken. You give space for silence when someone is searching for the right expression. You don't rush to fix them. You simply hold that moment with them. And in a world full of loud voices and impatient minds, this type of listening is rare and deeply valued. Sign number 3. You can read the emotional atmosphere without anyone having to explain a thing. You walk into a room and instantly notice who's uncomfortable, who's anxious, who's excited, even if their face is trying to hide it. It's like you have emotional radar built into your mind. You see the subtle cues, a forced smile, nervous hands, a distant gaze, the slight shift of energy. You can sense tension during a conversation before anyone raises their voice. You notice when something is off long before others do. People with high emotional intelligence often become the peacekeepers and the mediators because they can detect problems early and gently address them before they explode. Sign number 4. You're adaptable. Life is messy and unpredictable. Plans fall apart. People disappoint us. The world changes faster than we do. Some people break under pressure. You bend. When obstacles appear, you don't remain paralyzed. You adapt your strategy, your mindset, your expectations. You understand that resisting reality only increases suffering. So you breathe, you adjust, and you keep moving forward. Emotional intelligence gives you psychological flexibility. You can enter new environments, meet new people, or face sudden change without losing your sense of self. That resilience is a superpower in a world that never stops shifting. Sign number 5. You're comfortable with vulnerability, both yours and others. You're not afraid to admit, I don't know, or I made a mistake. You don't put on a mask of perfection just to impress others. You understand that vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is courage. It's what builds trust and a deeper human connection. When someone shares their struggles with you, you don't treat them like they're broken. You honor the strength it takes to reveal the soft parts of the human heart. You create a space where honesty feels safe. That ability to open up and allow others to do the same turns ordinary relationships into something meaningful. Sign number 6. You don't take everything personally. You have the maturity to understand that most people's reactions come from their own battles, not from anything you've done wrong. If someone snaps, you pause before assuming it's about you. If someone disagrees with you, you don't see it as a personal attack. You understand that everyone has their own emotional history, and sometimes their storm just happens to rain on your day. When you stop taking everything personally, you protect your peace, your confidence, and your ability to stay grounded. It is a sign of deep emotional wisdom. Sign number 7. You know how to set boundaries without guilt. You've learned that saying yes to everything eventually means saying no to yourself. High emotional intelligence isn't about being endlessly accommodating. It's about balancing kindness with self-respect. When someone crosses a line, you speak up. When you need space, you claim it. You understand that healthy boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are bridges that teach others how to love you correctly. Protecting your well-being becomes a form of self-love, and you don't apologize for it. If, as I was listing these signs, you found yourself quietly nodding along, then chances are your emotional intelligence is much higher than you think. And that means you have a gift that not everyone has, a gift that helps you navigate life with heart and clarity. A lot of people underestimate emotional intelligence. They imagine that intelligence only lives in numbers, logic, or fancy academic words. They think emotions make you weaker. That is a huge misunderstanding. Emotional intelligence is what guides our relationships, our decisions, and our sense of meaning. It helps us avoid destructive patterns and build a life that actually feels good. If you have these 7 qualities, you're already ahead of most people in ways they may never notice. Yet maybe you still question yourself. Maybe you wonder if your empathy makes you too sensitive. Maybe you worry that caring so deeply means you will get hurt. The truth is, caring is a strength. Emotional intelligence is the ability to care with wisdom. Let's go deeper into what it really means to live with emotional intelligence in your daily life. Think about conflict. Most people either explode or shut down. You find a third option. You pause. You breathe. You ask yourself, what is actually happening here? You look beyond the surface. You see the pain or fear that might be hiding underneath the anger. That pause is powerful. It gives you control over the moment instead of letting the moment control you. This kind of emotional mastery changes the outcome of conversations, relationships, and even careers. There is also a quiet confidence that emotionally intelligent people carry. Not loud confidence based on ego or trying to impress. A grounded confidence. You know who you are. You know what matters to you. You can appreciate yourself without being above others. That balance is rare. The world is full of people desperately seeking validation. You give yourself validation by living in alignment with your values. You don't need the spotlight, though you often earn it without trying. With high emotional intelligence, you become the person others trust. Friends come to you when they are falling apart because they know you won't judge them. Colleagues rely on you because you stay calm when the pressure rises. People feel safe with you. That doesn't happen by accident. It comes from your ability to manage your own emotions while supporting others with theirs. The more you grow emotionally, the less chaos has power over you. There is another sign that often goes unnoticed. You have a strong sense of empathy, but you also know your limits. You feel what others feel, yet you don't lose yourself in their emotions. You can care deeply without burning out. This balance allows you to help without drowning. That is a skill that people spend years trying to learn. You might have developed it naturally through experience or through pain. Many emotionally intelligent people learn this strength by surviving situations that forced them to evolve. Emotional intelligence also helps you learn from every life event, especially the painful ones. You don't blame the world endlessly for what happened. You reflect. You take responsibility where it's yours. You grow. Pain becomes a teacher instead of a prison. Growth becomes a lifestyle instead of a random accident. This mindset makes you unstoppable. Maybe you've noticed something else, too. You can inspire others just by being who you are. You don't lecture or demand. You lead by example. When others see how you handle stress, how you communicate, and how you treat people with kindness and fairness, they mirror that behavior. You elevate the environment around you. That is a quiet kind of leadership, but it is the kind that truly transforms lives. High emotional intelligence doesn't mean you are perfect. You still have moments of frustration, insecurity, and doubt. You still make mistakes, say things you regret, fall into old patterns. The difference is that you learn. You repair. You try again. You don't run from difficult feelings. You face them with honesty. That courage separates emotional intelligence from emotional avoidance. There is one more thing you should know. Emotional intelligence evolves. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Self-awareness grows deeper. Empathy becomes wiser. Boundaries become firmer. Communication becomes clearer. You step into a version of yourself that feels more authentic and powerful than ever. You begin to trust your intuition and understand your purpose. Life feels less like a battle and more like a meaningful journey. So what does all of this mean for you? If you recognize yourself in these signs, then you are not just going through life on autopilot. You are living with intention. You are shaping your inner world with consciousness. That alone can change everything. Emotional intelligence gives you the ability to create deeper love, stronger friendships, better decision-making, and a more peaceful mind. It is the secret skill behind healthy relationships and true fulfillment. Even if you only identified with a few signs, that is already a strong foundation. Emotional intelligence can be developed. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, self-reflection over denial, growth over comfort, you strengthen that skill. Imagine what your life will look like a year from now if you continue building this emotional power. Imagine who you are becoming. I would love to hear from you. Which of these signs feels the most true for you? Do you see emotional intelligence as one of your strengths? Or is it something you want to improve? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your story might help someone else recognize their own emotional gifts. Remember this. Real strength is not measured by how loudly you speak, but by how deeply you understand. Emotional intelligence is not just a trait. It is a path, a commitment to living with awareness, empathy, and courage. Keep walking that path. Your heart is wiser than you know. Thank you for being here with me today. If this video gave you something valuable to think about, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming videos that help you grow. Until next time, keep learning, keep evolving, keep leading with emotional intelligence.